Let's see here. There's one. Go for the Instagram.
So he's clicking on a whole bunch of different platforms so that they all broadcast at the
Yep.
same time.
Now we're on you. Right now we're live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and what's the other one?
Have you thought about going over to Blue Sky yet? I've heard something about this one.
Yeah, but they don't allow streaming. So
Oh,
we
they
can't.
don't. Okay.
Yeah, not with our service that we use. We only have Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
And
Instagram.
Those are the 5 they offer. And it costs $1 million to for the service. That's the only one they offer. So this is about as much as we can afford right now.
Well, I listened to all the handles. I got it.
Yeah, I forget them all the time. And actually, we can do something with TikTok, but I don't have TikTok. So we can't go live on TikTok, though. They give us like an option to do something after the show.
Mm.
I try to stay off TikTok because that's kind of my daughter's domain and she's in high school. And I try to not, I try to give her some space on that.
Some space. Yeah. No, I won't let.
A lot of her friends in high school follow me on X on Twitter. And she's always like, "Oh, Dad."
That must irritate her.
Yeah, a little bit. I can't help it if they follow me. It's not my fault.
Exactly.
There goes Discord. Okay, let's see here. So we're good there. We got some folks over there. Hello to D. Croakley, JN Service, M. Christie61, Mark Grando, and all those folks over on Instagram. Good Wednesday night. Getting ready to record with Cindy up in Canada. Sorry, I forgot your daughter's name. Anna with the awesome sweatshirt. She's got the coolest outfit on of all of us tonight. All right. Phone's muted, and we're getting ready to talk some Disney, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Art of Animation, fun stuff. So here we go. I should probably pull up the recording software. Yep, there it is. All right, here we go for Monday. Is Monday any kind of holiday? I can't remember what it is. Nope.
No, I think it's the following week.
Yep, it is. I'm trying to think. Yep. I record these out of order sometimes, but
yeah, I get it.
This is an in order show, so we're good. Okay, so this is 2638. Oh, this is the day after the Super Bowl, though. We have no idea who won. All right. Welcome to episode 2638 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to another great week here in February. And, well, if you're a football fan like me, what a game, right? What a game. Now, we're recording this before the Super Bowl. I have no idea what happened. I'm sure it was a great game, better commercials. And you know what? I hope your team won. And either way, let's don't blame it on the officials. It could have happened. I don't know. Again, we're recording this before the show. But the worst part about this is, again, if you're a football fan, it's going to be a little bit till August. So if you need to find something to do with your life, we put out 5 shows a week for you. You got lots of Be Our Guest podcast episodes coming your way. So load up, binge, whatever it takes. We're going to take you to Disneyland, Walt Disney World. We'll talk about Disney cruises. We're going to fill your feed with lots of great content. And just like today, we're taking you down to Walt Disney World. We're going to talk some Art of Animation. We're going to talk some Animal Kingdom Lodge. We're going to talk about great times in the park, some awesome meals. And to do that, we're headed up north. We're headed up to Toronto with listener Cindy, and we're going to get a few words from her daughter, Anna, who's hanging out with us as well during the show. Cindy, happy Monday. What's going on? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having us, Mike. We're really excited to be here. A little nervous, but all in good fun.
Hey, what's there to be nervous about? I mean, we've done this show 2,700 times. Have you not hung out with us 2,700 times or so? I mean, come on, it's that old hat.
Not all of them, but everybody has such great stories. I'm happy to be just part of the whole system.
We're so glad to have you here. So up in Toronto, Canada, how are things going here as we kind of get through 2025 here? Are things going well up there for you as the year moves on?
It's been a sick year for most of us. The weather's been cold and yucky, and just like everywhere else across North America. So we're just part of it.
Well, good. I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm glad that it's not just here in St. Louis, because that stuff was down here a couple of weeks ago and threatened to keep me away from Disneyland. I was like, "Oh Lord, I think you're taking me home there right before I went to Disneyland." I
Well,
mean,
we
that's
do
what I
like to share the snow. We do like to share the snow.
God bless you. We got our biggest snow in 25 years, about a month right before I went to marathon weekend. We got 12 and a half inches, and it was glorious. I mean, because I'm a weather nut, I love that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, but we still have, but our weather people call them the snow glaciers on our like business parking lots. And it was earlier last Monday, actually, it was 76 degrees. It broke a record, and those things are still hanging on. So, but now, football's over. I'm ready for spring. And spring always reminds me of Disney vacations. And we're going to talk about your trip down there. But before we do, let's talk about your Disney fandom. That's how I like to get to know our listeners when we get to have this conversation here on Mondays. So, how did it start for you? Why are you a Disney fan? Like, where does your chapter one start here?
Well, my chapter one is kind of twofold. So I started watching The Wonderful World of Disney, as everyone did in our age category, on Sunday nights with the movies and whatnot. But I was fortunate enough to have grandparents that had they were snowbirds and flew down to Florida every winter, and so they had a place just outside of Tampa. So we got to go down there every few years, and when we went down, we got to visit Disney. So it's been a long-standing love between the two of us.
So tell me, I'm always curious about this. Do you have any like specific memories from those trips as a kid down to Walt Disney World? Maybe like an extinct attraction or something you were really fond of that was, maybe like a smaller attraction, something like that. Just, when you look back, you're like, like for me, it was like a hat shop at the Magic Kingdom. I don't know why I recall that, but is there anything that, a particular memory that sticks out for you from those early days?
Mine is actually fairly similar to yours. I remember walking down Main Street and going into a store, and I wanted the invisible dog leash
Oh
for
my
some
gosh.
bizarre
Yes.
reason. I needed to have that. I cried until I got it. My parents tried to get me one of those giant lollipops. They tried to get me other things. No, I wanted that dog leash, and I remember nothing else of the other trips. I remember that dog leash and kept it for years.
Oh yeah. For kids of today, they have no idea what we're talking about.
No clue. No clue.
But for folks of our generation, it was like the coolest thing ever. I mean, you got this, I guess Google it, because the invisible dog leash, guess what you Google? I have no idea. But I mean, I never had one. Let me just say, it was scarred childhood, right? But I always wanted one because my friend Ryan across the street had one. He didn't go to World or anything. I think he got it like at a carnival or something. But he was, I mean, this is how boring our childhood was, right? We didn't have iPhones. He had an invisible dog leash. I probably had a rope, which I guess I just had like a dead dog or something that I was just dragging a rope, because mine didn't have the wiring or whatever in it. But, he was walking. It was like, what kind of dog you got there today, Ryan? He's like, it's a Doberman,
Nice.
Back off, he's going to bite you. I'm like, dude, and the next day he's like, it's a poodle. You can pet it. I'm like, I mean, but I guess we had to use our imagination back in the, early 80s, late 70s, and that's kind of what was fun. But they sold those at Disney. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. And I remember, and I named it Lady, of course. So I wasn't very creative, but it is what I wanted.
Think about the marketing possibilities. Like one day it could be like, hey, come buy your invisible dog leash with Lady. And then the next day it could be Pluto. Or, I guess it could even be Goofy. I don't know. Goofy's kind of, is he a dog? I guess he's kind of a dog.
He is a dog, but he's, a human dog.
Okay. There's so many possibilities with this. Just slap something on that, bring it back. It's a retro toy. Come on, Disney. I'll give you ideas every show. Let's go with it. All right. So that's why I love these. I love the show. I love the show. Word of memory. All right. So let's talk about this trip you guys went last fall, last September. Yep. And it's a great time to kind of talk about that because a lot of people are planning their trips for this time this fall. So how did this trip come about? Because I know you were celebrating kind of a big accomplishment and did a split stay. So tell us about the genesis of this trip.
So I, in 2020, December, right in the middle of COVID, I ended up getting a life-saving double lung transplant. And I remember going into the transplant thinking, if I survive this, my one goal is to take my daughter to Disney. I wanted her to experience the joy and the magic that Disney brings. And as soon as I woke up and took my first steps, I said, okay, let's do this in 3 years, because she was only 3 at the time and I needed time to recover. I said, so let's do this in 3 years. And that's when the planning process started. So anytime I got any of my medications that were really hard on me, or it took things out of me, that was my happy place, was just dreaming about this trip to be.
First of all, congratulations on that, because that is something that, you know, it's a blessing that the doctors were able to take care of you, and that you were able to just go through that and, you know, take it day by day. And that I mean, it's amazing that, you know, the medical accomplishments that you've gone through. So I'm so glad that you're here and that you're healthy. And I love that you took something like putting a Disney vacation, something that we all appreciate and that we all love. But unfortunately, I think a lot of us take it for granted. You know, it's like, we, you know, we get to go, but we worry about the minute details. Like, oh, am I going to, you know, I'm kind of bummed because I got Cinderella's royal table at, you know, I could only get it at 10:30 and I wanted it at 9:15. You know, in the grand scheme of things, we're getting to go to Walt Disney World, and who cares if it's 2 hours difference? You know, you're still eating in the castle, and you're still getting to be at Walt Disney World, and you're still getting to be with your loved ones. You know, if you think about that, but you use it kind of like as a carrot at the end of this long, grueling recovery. And was that sounds very intentional, and something that you and your daughter could rally together through the hard times, that you had something to look forward to through the dark days, it sounds like.
Yeah, my husband actually used it as fodder for me to actually get my walks in every day. So he was a big supporter as well of the whole thing, just to get me back and motivated, and, you know, pushing through the dark times and stuff, and remembering the magic at the end.
I love that. So let's talk about how you decided on when you went, and decided on the resorts, Art of Animation and Animal Kingdom Lodge. Tell us about the planning of that.
So after much research and listening to the podcast and stuff, we decided that September was the best time to go, price wise, temperature wise. It just seemed to fit with all of our check boxes for that. I chose Art of Animation mostly because of Anna, my daughter. I wanted something big and bold and with lots of character. And as much as I would prefer one of the deluxe resorts, I thought that she would not appreciate the smaller, more refined details of the deluxe resort. And I needed something in your face, fun, joyous to see. So that's how Art of Animation became. And then partway through the planning process, I thought, you know what? This is my trip too. So I thought, all right, let's split stay this to an Animal Kingdom Lodge as well. So that's how that came to be.
I love it though. Like you really thought this through, because and I love that you celebrated you, because you needed some deluxe resort in this. Let me just say 100% you deserve to have some Animal Kingdom Lodge or Polynesian or whatever you wanted, Bay Lakes or Riviera. I don't care. You needed some deluxe resort to stay in this, but you thought about your daughter and went to Art of Animation. So Anna, let me get you in here real quick and what did you think of Art of Animation? How was your stay there? Did you like it?
Yes. I think it was really good because, you know, somebody upgraded us to a car suite.
Oh, I've always wanted to stay in a car suite and I never have. You're so lucky. Ka-chow.
Yeah, we were really fortunate. We had a Little Mermaid room booked, and then we got there and they said, oh no, you're going to be in the car suite. And I said, I think you've made a mistake. That's not what we booked. And she said, well, you've been pixie dusted, so congratulations.
So now wait a second. There's only 3 of you and you're in a Cars family suite. So did anybody get lost in that thing? It's pretty cool.
I think Anna only found one of the bathrooms at one of the times. No.
How about that pool for the car suite area though? I mean, that's a pretty sweet with the little cones and everything. It's pretty nice down there.
Actually, we spent quite a few times over at the Cozy Cone pool. It was more of the quiet pool. We didn't head over to the Nemo one because this one was just outside our door. Made life easy.
All right. So Anna, Skyliner, were you a fan of the Skyliner when you were there?
Yes, it was amazing because I got to see everywhere.
I love the Skyliner too. That's why I'm always over there. Well, okay, hang tight. We're going to talk to you as well. So hang tight. We're going to talk about that. So talk to us about, Cindy, also about, so when you were at Art of Animation, did you focus your park time on like Epcot and Studios? Did you kind of go that way, or did you go just everywhere? Because you guys had a lot of park time. You had tickets, you had lightning lanes, you had the Halloween party while you were there. Talk to us about how you structured, how you were going to the parks during this trip.
I was very intentional about the structure that we had. So originally when I booked the trip, we had 5 days, but when I included the split stay, it ended up being cheaper to get the 6th day as part of the package, as opposed to getting an additional 2 separately, if that made sense. So we had lots of park days, although we only used 5 of them. So I made sure that we were going to be bookending the trip with Magic Kingdom.
Smart. I love that. We get along well. Yeah,
we had to do that. Plus, we had the Mickey's Not So Scary in the middle as well. So we had a lot of time at Magic Kingdom. So I made sure that we kind of put in rest days and tried to enjoy some of the Disney Springs or some of the other shopping, as well as the resorts and stuff. So yeah, so we started with Magic Kingdom, and then we headed over to, where did we go after that? Epcot, and then we did Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and then finished up with, we did actually a park hopper combo. We didn't use it for the first half, but we made sure we had that for the option, and we ended up using it for the last day.
So let me just kind of to get, because we'll talk about some of the highlights of the attractions and maybe memories you had inside the theme parks, but as a whole, like globally, did you find the crowds manageable this time of year? Because it is kind of a great time to go. The weather's typically still a little warm, but not as kind of oppressive as like maybe July, August in Orlando, and everybody's back in school. Pretty good. Was the crowd, how'd you overall feel? How did it feel in the theme parks for you?
I think it depends on who you ask. So for me, knowing that their crowds can be really high and having experienced them over Christmas when I was younger, I do remember that they were really quite large. But this one, I mean, the longest we waited was maybe 30 minutes for a ride. But even my husband thought, he was like, oh, these lines, they're so long. And I said, listen, you're going to be waiting in lines. He's like, but you bought this like fast lane thing, lightning whatever it is. I said, he goes, we should be going right on. I said, you still have to wait a little bit to wait your turn. I mean, 10 minutes, I think you can hang on. You'll be fine.
It is kind of a struggle though, when you are paying extra for lightning lanes and you do have to wait a little bit. I mean, I understand your husband's slight frustration because you're paying to get into the park.
Yeah.
You're paying your theme park ticket, and then you're paying a premium on top of that to get through the lines in an expedient fashion. So if there's any kind of like, if it hits like beyond 10 minutes, I understand that. Like,
I don't know. Time is money. I mean, even if you're saving 20 minutes, I mean, you're so fortunate. Like, just
if you're not a theme park person though, that's going to be a hard sell.
That's just or a crowd person.
We get it, but if like you're somebody that's there maybe in like the theme park thing isn't your thing, it's going to be a little bit of a hard sell.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, what's going on with this? I'm here, but I just want to get in and out. Like, I want to do the rides. I don't want to. I'm not all about seeing. You don't have to explain to me about every detail of every queue. Like that, like that's us, not somebody that's just there along for the ride. I get it. So what were some of your favorite attractions that you discovered on this? Maybe old attractions that you love, or maybe something new you fell in love with in the theme parks, both you and Anna.
Well, one of our favorites, I think that we agree on this one, is the Avatar Flight of Passage.
Nice.
That was definitely a crowd favorite for our family. I still like the teacups. I know that it's not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak. But sorry, I had to be punny on that one. But yes, I got a bell. So I mean, I still like those classic ones. It's just so reminiscent of my childhood and whatnot. But definitely Remy's was amazing. The Frozen ride was fun. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway, all the new ones, they're like all the top-notch ones are good. We're not huge roller coaster people, and I know that might upset some of the rest of the team around here, but we we kind of stuck more to the less thrillish rides.
Did you do like Slinky Dog or Seven Dwarfs, nothing like that, or like the small ones?
Would you like to tell the story about Seven Dwarfs, Miss Munchkin?
I hated Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Because that's kind of a combo, right? I mean, it's kind of a roller coaster. Then it goes into like a little dark ride action there for a little bit in the mine. Then all of a sudden, boom, you're back out, kind of doing a little bit of a roller coaster at the end. So was it too scary, too fast? What'd you think, Anna?
It was too intense because when we were going up, my heart was beating like so fast when we were going like up the hill. That was like a huge drop, and we dropped it super fast. So we like dropped and then we turned to the side. And I was like really scared. I was at the end of the ride. I was shaking and I was crying.
Ooh, so now
Yeah.
then the old like beggar woman pops out at the very end too. I mean, to kind of put the cherry on top of the, sundae there. She's waiting for you. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
not. So maybe wait a couple years on that one for the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do Slinky Dog, but there was no having
Yeah,
it.
I'd say pass on that. Yeah, some dwarves there. Yeah, pass.
I've ruined roller coasters for my child for life.
You got to have something to look forward to in a few years. Like you just got to kind of, Anna, you'll grow into it. Like I'll tell you what, Anna, I didn't even get on an airplane again until about 7 years ago. So you're braver than I am. You'll be fine. You got this. You
I
got it.
love airplanes.
See, look at that. You're braver than I am. I can do like you totally got this. No problem at all. And by the way, I don't do flight of passage. It makes me sick as a dog. So see, you got me there too. And I can't do the teacups. I can't do anything that spins. So, you guys are killing me right now because you're having the time of your life. And I'll tell you what, everybody that rides the teacups, because I was just at Disneyland, and at Disneyland, the teacups are outside. Like they're not covered or anything because the weather's so nice out there. And it's right next to the Alice ride and next to the Matterhorn, which are two rides I really like. Mm-hmm. And I'm just watching people having the time of their lives, just spinning in those teacups, and everybody's laughing and giggling. And I'm like, that looks like so much fun. And I'm just like, if I got on those things right now, it'd be so ugly. So I just can't do it. I want to have fun, but I can't. Now, let me ask you too about this. I'm curious because you guys were in the parks. Nighttime spectaculars. What are your favorites? Happily Ever After, Fantasmic, Luminous. What do you guys like when it comes to that?
All right. So Happily Ever After, we missed all 3 times that we were at Magic Kingdom. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for us somehow. We ended up seeing Luminous, which was really good, except that I ended up getting ash in my eye. We were standing right by the cannons by Japan. And actually, the spot that we chose was fantastic because I had just texted in the Discord like 10 minutes earlier. It's like, okay, guys, where should I be to watch Luminous? And I got an instant response, and they were like, be just between, the American Pavilion and Japan, and you've got a beautiful shot. And that's where we stood. So I can't thank the Discord, enough. The community is phenomenal.
Except they should have said wear goggles, apparently.
Yeah, probably.
You should have wore your glasses.
I could have worn my glasses.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I got my eye protection on 24/7, except when I run. Exactly.
Yeah, we could have done that.
Holy
so
God.
Luminous was fun. And then Fantasmic was, you can't say enough about Fantasmic. The music, the spectaculars, like the show, the lights, the sounds, the action. Anna was incredibly invested in the show. Everything was very real to her. And she was cheering on Mickey when he decided to take control of his own dream, which is a nice story on itself, right? So to have an 8-year-old just kind of grasp that and just run with it was very heartwarming for me. And I, so that plays kind of twofold for me. Some
imagination, huh? Right?
Indeed.
Am I right? That's the best. When he pops out on the top at the end. Oh, I love that show. That's my wife's favorite. I think because I was an Illuminations guy back in the day, still am, still bitter. They took that away, but I'm an old dog, kind of thing. But I think my favorite right now is Happily Ever After. There's just something about it. Oh, I love that show. When they took it away and then brought it back.
That tells you something.
Because they never give us anything back. You know what I'm saying? Like when they brought it back, I'm like, thank you, Disney. I love it. It's a good show. And I'm glad you guys got to do that. Now, let me ask you about this meet and greets. Because, Anna's kind of at that perfect age to like meet
perfect age.
And maybe a Pluto or a Goofy or, Mickey Mouse, whoever it is. So how did that go? Like any good character interactions during this trip?
Actually, when we went to Crystal Palace, the restaurant, we got to see Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet. And I told Winnie the Pooh that he was my favorite character from, Winnie the Pooh. And he was like so thrilled of that. So and he came 3 times to our table just to see me because I told him that he was my favorite character. So and one of my favorite times that me and Winnie the Pooh met is that the 3rd time he came to our table grabbed my hand, pulled me up from the chair, and then took me by the window. And we were talking a little bit. And I told Winnie the Pooh that my mom gets sleepy when it's raining. And you know what Winnie the Pooh did?
What's that?
He grabbed a napkins. He made a pillow. He told my mom to lie down, and then he made a blanket out of a napkin. And he was like, hey, I know you're tired, so just sleep throughout.
Because of course we went down during hurricane season, so there was lots of rain that day, so it worked out.
He is silly, and let me just say, it sounds like you guys are BFFs at this point.
Yeah, we are.
I love that. Now, I wonder I'm thinking about this whole story, because what would have happened if you would have told Eeyore that you're best friends? Would he have got excited? Because it's not really in his personality. Might have maybe said, okay, I guess we can be friends. Maybe. Oh. I love it though. Tigger would have probably broke the place if you'd have told him you're best friends. So it's probably not a good idea to tell Tigger. He'd have probably knocked over,
everything, all the food. All the food would be gone.
That'd be bad. And just tell everybody, don't tell Tigger your best friend. So I think, Anna, you got it. Winnie the Pooh. That's who you tell, because he's kind of in charge there. I think he's like the boss. That's great. So and also make sure don't eat bacon if Piglet's coming around. That's just weird. Don't do it. It's just weird, because he came to because we go there with Scott all the time, and he came by our table, dude. I was eating a piece of bacon for breakfast. I was like, this is awkward. It's so strange. Well, anyway, it's a good transition into meals though. You guys had like I was looking at this like all-star slate of meals. Cindy, next time I go to Walt Disney World, I'm calling you and saying, just hook me up with some meals, because you can't do better than what you picked. So you'd already talked about Crystal Palace, one of my favorite places. Give us a couple more of the places you went that stood out and memories you made on as far as dining.
So we did Crystal Palace. What else did we do? We did at Epcot. I don't even remember now.
Well, you got Garden Grill here. You did for lunch over at Epcot. It looks like
that's right. Yeah, we did Garden Grill. We did. We were supposed to do Topolino's, but Anna ended up getting a fever that day, so we didn't get to do that one, which was too bad. We did Hollywood and Vine for breakfast, which was a very interesting one, because you get to see some of the other characters from Disney Junior that you don't normally see elsewhere.
What characters are there? Because I haven't been there in so long. Back in the day, it was little Einsteins and Handy Manny. That's
dating you.
Doctor Doc McStuffins.
Doc McStuffins. She was there.
Still there. Holy smokes. Yeah. 17.
I tell you. So we had Doc McStuffins, we had Goofy, we had Vampirina, and we had Fancy
Nancy.
Oh, see, I don't know. I've heard of her, but I don't know why she's fancy. I got to figure that out.
Yeah, she thinks she's fancy, apparently. I haven't watched. I haven't seen, so that part I'm not sure. Yeah, so we did that, and then we did the Mickey's Not So Scary
Halloween party.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that real quick while we're here, since Anna's all excited. So, because I love hearing about the Halloween party. Okay, so was it your first time doing the party?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
First time doing any ticketed event, so it was very interesting for us. I had done all the research again and tried to, they said, if you're going to focus on characters, focus on that. If you're focusing on rides, do that. If you're focusing on meet and greets, do that. So for me, the number one thing, my personal one, is getting my popcorn bucket.
Yes.
That's what I needed. I needed I didn't care about anything else. No other purchases for the whole trip. I just wanted that popcorn bucket. So that for me was it.
If you see Mickey with the pumpkin there next to our red toaster, he's holding a piece of candy.
I see it. And you know what? You got to be careful, Anna, because those things, if you buy one, they start to multiply. Like I have Mr. Toad. I have a balloon behind me. I have a Toyota truck. I don't know how this happened.
I have a friend who's going to Tokyo Sea, and I'm getting a popcorn bucket from there. So
you're multiplying.
You mean this one?
I'm actually going to get the Monsters Inc. one.
Oh, okay. Because I got this one from Tokyo or Hong Kong from a listener just the other day. Very nice.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was looking at that one, but
I know it's so cool. Yeah,
That's
they're
crazy.
multiplying. And my wife is a very minimalist, and she's like, "Where are all these popcorn buckets going?" I'm like, "They're in the studio. I close the door. You never see them."
See, I'm lucky. I'm the minimalist of the family. So if I say it goes, it's okay.
It's funny how, like, you know, I'm not a hoarder. I'm a collector. But my wife is a minimalist, and those two people always find each other and marry.
Isn't that funny? It's so funny.
Great. Anyway, so back to the party. Did you guys wear any kind of costumes? I love hearing about that. Or did you guys just go as Disney fans?
Yeah, Anna wore a Little Mermaid one that glows in the dark, so that was perfect for the Halloween party. Well, okay. She would like me to upload the picture for you, so I'll send that to you. The picture
or put it in the Discord, and we can.
I can do that too. And then basically, my husband just wore a Jack Skellington T-shirt, and I had an Ursula shirt. So we kind of kept it. It was still very warm this past September. So we decided to try to keep it as cool as possible and as practical as possible. You don't want one of these big, heavy costumes that are cumbersome and too hot, and you're not going to enjoy the evening.
Yeah. In 2010, we went to because we started the podcast in 2008. So in 2010, we did a big podcast event. We all went to the Halloween party together, a bunch of us in September. And I dressed up as Captain EO. And I had my wife made this Captain EO suit out of this big white sweatsuit, super thick. And it had she hot glued all these they were I don't even know, plastic puzzle pieces or something to look like that big stripe.
Yep.
And these white thick sweatpants, and I had a big afro wig, and I wore it, dude. I was dedicated to the costume. I was not giving it up. But it was 90 degrees that day. It was tons of humidity. Ricky was there. I almost had to get carried out by the medics because I got overheated. I remember I was back in Fantasyland. I was like, Ricky, I think I'm passing out. I was. So I will tell people, I know the costumes are fun, but don't take it to where you're almost having a medical emergency, because I did. I remember I was back by Small World, and I was like, I think I'm going down because I'm so wanting to be Michael Jackson and Captain EO. I was wringing wet. I mean, I probably lost 10 pounds that day just walking around in that thing. But it was crazy. My wife worked so hard on the costume. I didn't want give it up because if I'd have wore it at home, nobody knows who Captain EO is.
100%.
That's my only spot. Magic Kingdom, Walt Disney World for the Halloween party was Captain EO all the way. Anyway, so did you guys do the trick or treating? I mean, did the party meet your expectations? What'd you think?
I found it was still really, really crowded, which was, and I'm not sure if it's just from the things that we tried to do. So we wanted to do the Boo-to-You parade. That was another big thing. We wanted to see the fireworks. So that was the other big thing. And Anna actually has both all nut allergy as well as egg allergies. So we got the teal bag, which made trick-or-treating so easy because all we had to do was to go up to the cast members that had the teal bib and then get the tokens, and that was it. We didn't have to wait in line. We didn't have to do anything. And then she got a garbage bag full, I swear, of candy that was all Anna friendly. So it was amazing.
What's candy though for the alternative candy? Because I'm curious about that. I've never experienced that. What kind of alternative candy do you get?
So she had a lot of lollipops and that kind of thing. And there was some chocolates that are made from sunflower oil that she, certain nuts and stuff that are not nuts, sorry, seeds that she could have. Just varieties like that, some chips, some other things. They had a really good variety. It wasn't just, a bag of, Skittles or something. Yeah. So nothing wrong with Skittles. Nothing wrong with Skittles.
No. I was just worried. You get raisins or something like that, and that's it. As a kid, I mean, you can only get, you want to have candy, so
100%.
You shouldn't give like that. So now, did you guys stick around to be able to see the parade and the fireworks? I mean, because that's kind of the highlight of the show there.
Yeah. So we made sure we caught the early parade, and we did get to see the Headless Horseman come down, which was amazing. Anna was actually in the pre-parade with the Country Bears.
Oh, nice.
And was part of that little celebration, which is a great way to get the kids involved and active, and kind of keeping them busy while we were waiting for the parade, which was fantastic, and watch the cadaver dance and stuff. So we got to do that. So that was very nice. And then we did go to see the fireworks, and the Hocus Pocus show happened right after that.
Yeah, I've never seen Hocus Pocus, so I don't get the whole thing there.
I've never seen it either.
People love it. I mean, I know it's like a niche kind of thing, or what do they call it? I don't know. There's a word for it. The kind of movie it is, but People love that show.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it. But it was a fun show.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a fun stage show. So
yeah, exactly. So Anna, you stayed up late that night. So were you kind of just fueled by candy? What was your favorite part? Was it the parade? Was it the fireworks? Was it the trick or treating? What was your favorite part of the party?
My favorite part is that when we were doing like when I was in the parade with the country bears, like when they said like strike a pose, I directly did the splits.
Oh my gosh. You really, I mean, you went all in. You're like, I'm really striking a pose here. I'm taking this seriously.
she's invested. She's invested.
Hey, my wife always calls me a main character, so it sounds like you are too. We get along well.
100%.
I mean, I just ran a 5K in a hot dog costume all over 2 theme parks at Disneyland. So yeah, I'm pretty much a main character. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about your stay though over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. We didn't talk about that, and it's deluxe, and that was your celebration there, Cindy. Well deserved. So holy cow, I've stayed there a couple times, and I can't say nicer things. It's like being in another world. But what'd you guys think?
Oh, just amazing. It transports you 100%. You walk in through those main doors and then you can just see straight through that lobby, right to that great big glass window. It's mind blowing. You don't think that you're anywhere near, middle Florida, right? You just don't know that you're there. The staff are super friendly and amazingly nice. The decor, you just can't say enough about it. It's just so welcoming, but yet so distinct. Just the touches that they added are just amazing. We ended up eating at Sanaa and Boma both because I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I decided to do both.
Exactly. If you can't decide, go hey both.
Forget it. It was amazing. So yeah, and the animals. Anna loves animals, so that was another part to have that there. So it was crazy.
So Anna, what was your favorite animal you saw out there in the savannah?
Actually the giraffes, but there's also something that was really surprising.
What's that?
My friend, when we used to live in a condo, we used to play together.
And she had a pet giraffe in the condo?
She actually went to Animal Kingdom Lodge at the same time we were at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
No way. What are the chances? That's cool.
I was actually like so happy. My mouth dropped when I saw her.
You're like, wait a second, I know you, and you're at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Well, I was actually checking us in, and I turned around, I'm like, who's my husband talking to? And I'm like, wait a minute. And we hadn't seen these people for 5 years because we'd moved to a house, they moved to away, and the kids still remembered each other. And it was just such a bizarre coincidence that they were checking into Animal Kingdom Lodge the same time and day as we were, of all places.
I know the feeling. On one of our podcast cruises about 3 years ago, I came out of a mixology class on a podcast cruise and turned the corner, and one of my students is in the hall. I
remember you telling us that story. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, this is not good that one of my students is on this ship and I'm walking out of a mixology class. I'm like, yeah, small world is ironic right about now. I hear Mr. Rallman. I'm like, what? It is July. I am not Mr. Rallman. It was more than that because I've been teaching for 7 years. It was right after I ended teaching. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, so let me ask you a couple of things, like as far as the mechanics of this trip. So you guys also did Bibbidy Bobbidy Boutique. Now, my youngest is 17. She did that back. Oh, you didn't do that. You did.
That was what was planned, but we didn't end up getting it done.
You didn't.
We canceled that one. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I saw that it was planned and it didn't happen. Okay, let's talk about. Did you guys have Memory Maker?
We did. I can't say enough about Memory Maker. If you're hesitating, anybody out there, if you're hesitating about getting Memory Maker, just get it. You're not going to regret it. The number of pictures, I think I have over 3,000 pictures, and half of them are from the photographers there. And then my husband has another 3,000. And like just the number of pictures, the special touches that they do, the shots that they get, what they like, if they get a good one who can spend some time with you, which we were very fortunate a couple of times. The shots that you get are iconic. I'll throw some of those up in the Discord too, just so people can see some of the opportunities that you can get. But I mean, honestly, you need to get it.
I 100% agree. I mean, Kim Taylor, she's one of our dear friends of the show. She's been doing this for 10 years with PhotoPass and Memory Maker. And when the service launched years and years ago, basically it was just the folks down there taking snapshots. But what it has evolved into, I would say over the past 5 to 7 years, is that these photographers are artists. They will take they're not just taking snapshots, they're capturing. It's almost like a quick little photo essay of your spot there, of your day, of your moment in time. And just personally, because I'm a parent, just like a lot of our listeners are. Not everybody's a parent, but a lot of ours are. And I don't think you'll ever, and even if you're not a parent, I think this is true of everybody that goes to a Disney destination, is that I don't think you'll ever regret capturing those memories that you'll have, that you can look back on 5 years later, 10 years later, because now, as I get older and my kids are now 28 and 17, which I can't believe that, because, I was taking Paige, who's 28. I was taking her when she was 4 years old.
Yep.
And, I look back on those with such fond memories, and I just tell myself, man, I wish I would have taken more pictures. I wish 100%. I had more video of us staying at All-Star Sports that first trip, because I see like we have 17 pictures back then, and like now it takes so many more, but I would pay so much to have more memories. So I think that, you might think it's a lot, but you can't put a price on having those memories forever. And the PhotoPass photographers do, like you said, they do such a great job of capturing the moment in unexpected ways. They're artists really with what they do. They're getting so good at it.
And they use like the props that you might come in with. Like we had, Anna was gifted from a friend of mine, a backpack. And the PhotoPass photographer said, take off the backpack. Let's take a picture of you holding the backpack. And that was like, I never would have thought of doing something like that to capture that like the Loungefly backpack at Disney World. It's just not on my radar. I'm not that creative. So it was a nice touch.
So also you guys, you had the Disney dining plan for all these meals and that. So how did you feel about, like, once you got through the trip, was that something you would do again? Did it work out well for you? Did it give you flexibility? What were your thoughts on that?
So because, like you mentioned, we were very character heavy on our meals. And I actually did do the calculation because Disney math is math too. And so I wanted to calculate to see what the difference was. Was it worth it financially from an outside perspective? And we ended up saving, which you don't hear about. We saved over $350 on this trip from using the dining plan. Now, next time we go, I don't know. We don't need to do that many character heavy meals. So I don't know if I'll do like the Disney dining plan. We might do the quick service one just because it's ease of convenience. I love convenience. I will pay a little extra and enjoy my time where I don't have to think or worry about it. So I would do it again, and I'm a big advocate if anybody asks me.
Yeah, it's because here's kind of my thoughts on the Disney dining plan is typically you're going to be like plus or minus really close. You're going to break even, unless but if you really do the math and really, have exactly, especially with character meals, and if you have kids, you're going to probably come out ahead. As long as you use every single credit, you're going to come out ahead on the Disney dining plan in a lot of situations. But worst case scenario, if you use every credit, you're going to probably break even. Now, for me, I like it for the convenience of it. One of the reasons I enjoy cruising is I like that 120 days prior to the cruise, or 9, depending on the length of the cruise, is that you pay everything off. And when I get on the ship, pretty much everything's paid in full. Like I'm just there and I just order what I want at dinner, except for like alcohol or, just, souvenirs or what have you. Everything is squared away. Port adventures, stuff like that, I got to pay extra for, but mostly everything is, I like prepaying everything. And with the Disney plan, that kind of takes away the, like, every time I sit down, I got to think about, okay, what does this sandwich cost? What does these fries cost? What does this soda cost to me? I'm just one of those people, I'd rather pay up front and enjoy the experience later than have to think about it every time I sit down to eat.
I think so too, because then you're not enjoying the moment, right? You're thinking about the nickels and the dimes and stuff. So if you can sit back and really take in the atmosphere that you're at, the people that you're with, and just watching the other people around you, and listen on to some of the stories. I'm like you. I've heard many times you say, like, you kind of go, I wonder what that person's story is. I wonder what that family is doing today, or I wonder where they're coming from. And it's not that I'm eavesdropping. I'm just interested. So I like to kind of enjoy the moment. And I think that if I was worried about every dollar and cent, I don't think that I would as much. And that's just me personally.
No, that's good. We're a lot alike. We're very much alike. So as we kind of wrap this up, I got a question for both of you to kind of wrap the show. And I'm super interested in this. And I'm going to start with Anna here because I'm very curious about this. So looking back on this trip, Anna, what was your favorite memory from the trip? What was the favorite thing that you did? Was it meeting a character? Was it a ride? Was it a meal? What was your favorite part of the trip? Was it just being with your parents? What was your favorite part of the trip?
My favorite part of the trip was on the second day. Tinkerbell actually visited our apartment, and she got us like these like hats, glow sticks, a book where the characters got to sign the signatures, and yeah, it was just that was my favorite memories.
Wow. How special is that? That Tinkerbell knew that you were there and kind of pixie dusted your room and got you ready for the entire trip and just gave you some magic there. So what did you think so it was there when you woke up on that second day?
Oh yes. There was also a little note that Tinkerbell left on the table where we were. So like our table was like a table where we get to like pull down the top of the table, and then it converted into a bed. And I slept there because my parents wouldn't let me sleep with them. But
well, at least they didn't make you sleep on the table. At least they made it into a bed. I mean, it could have been. Well, shoot, that is so cool. That you know what? We've been doing this show for almost 17 years, and I have not heard of Tinkerbell dropping in on anybody. I've been to Walt Disney World so many times. Tinkerbell never comes to see me and leaves me gifts. You are, Anna, you are super special.
Well, maybe if you like wear Disney like merchandise or something, maybe Tinkerbell will come.
Yeah. Have you seen my closet? Other than the zoo stuff, my whole closet's Disney stuff. I'm always, it doesn't work. I think it's because you're so cute. I'm just an old guy, like you got the Minnie Mouse little sweatshirt on. You're sweet as pie. I think it's just, you're just special. You're just very nice. So that's why Tinkerbell came to see you.
Probably.
I love it. All right, Cindy, same question. What was your favorite? I mean, you got to just adore, like, of course you were celebrating such an accomplishment of all the stuff you had gone through, the victory that you were celebrating with the double lung transplant and just being with your family. Of course, that's going to, that's hard to beat. But I mean, what special memories from this trip? What are you going to look back on?
Day 3, I remember precisely exactly what happened. We were just walking into the Epcot pavilion just came off Remy's, actually. I think we just came off Remy's. And my husband had always said that this trip was a one and done. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I'm going to make it a big one. No problem. As soon as we got off Remy's, he goes to me and he goes, next time we do this. And I went, what?
Yes.
So, success. That's all I needed to hear. And I was just like, remember those words because it will happen again now.
That is awesome. Well, yeah. Cindy, has been such a pleasure to sit down and talk today. And man, just so many laughs, so many smiles. And Anna, I want to thank you for making this show so much better, for hanging out with us for such a long show and having the patience with us, because you have made this show 100% better today. So thank you too.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, Cindy,
it was lovely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
We'll do it again next time you guys go on another trip. Give me a yell, and between here and there, we'll hang out over in the clubhouse. I love having you over there. It's such a fun place to be.
It is, definitely.
All right. Well, all right. Well, hey, Anna, do good in school. Okay. I'm a former teacher.
Okay.
All right. Get those grades up. All right. We're going to jump out of here. Don't forget, our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney. No additional cost to you. Let's plan that trip together this week. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. I just bought a cool pair of joggers this week. I know, who cares? I'm an old dude, but I needed new joggers. If you're going to buy anything on Amazon, you can do the same. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. It really does help us out. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys help keep us on the air. It's $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over and support us over at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can give me a follow on the social media at beourguestmike. I have a ton of pictures there from Disneyland Half Marathon weekend. And I put a cool like mini movie together from all the photos and stuff from the races, from all the cool snacks I had, all the attraction photos, stuff like that. So you can check that out on Instagram in my reels section. I put that together. And I'm also on X at BRGuestMike and on Threads at the same handle as well. Now we will have a live call-in show this Sunday night because we've gotten past the Disneyland Half Marathon weekend and we've gotten past the Super Bowl weekend. So join us this Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. Scott will be back from his cruise and from his little weekend in Vegas. We'll find out if he won, lost, or whatever. I know he ate well. I saw the pictures. He was eating all the stuff out in Vegas. I didn't know Vegas had such great food, but he was killing it. So we're gonna have a good time taking your calls. We got to catch up on all the phone calls from 2 weeks gone. So give us a call, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central this Sunday night. Join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Wherever you want to join us, we'll be there. All right. So until we get back together again on Wednesday with your listener questions, by the way, if you have a question, drop it right now. Mike at brguestpodcast.com. We'll get it on the show. But until then, for Cindy and Anna, who is friends with not only Winnie the Pooh, but Tinkerbell too, I'm Mike, and I'm just Mike. I don't get any of this love. I'm just Mike. But until we get back together again, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Anna, you stole the show. Let me just say,
no kidding.
You stole the show today. You are so awesome. You need to start your own podcast.
Don't even get her started. She will.
Hey,
Of ventriloquism.
Well, ventriloquism. Okay, I guess you could do that. Yes, you can probably do that.
We one thing we did, we went to the laugh floor and they interviewed Anna as to what she wanted to be, and she said a ventriloquist. Yeah.
Well, see, we should have told that story. I didn't know. That's awesome.
We have so many stories. It's hard to pick.
It's incredible that
Yes.
we have so much stories.
Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't take much. Any Yahoo like me can start a podcast. So could you.
I don't know. You're pretty special and you're pretty great at what you do, Mike. Yeah, I know I'm very fortunate to be listening.
That's all. It doesn't take a lot. It's just telling stories. It's just yapping away. That's all.
Yeah, your personality comes through. It's amazing.
I love what I'm very blessed to get to do what I do. I love it. This is my, some people play golf. Some people do other things. This is my toys shop right here. This is it.
Yep. I love it.
This is my toy store.
See
All right, well, I appreciate y'all. Anna, it's so good to meet you. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you again.
All right, you guys take care. I'll see you over on the Discord.
Of course. Take care.
By the way, we're beating the number 4 team in the country at halftime. Oh, let's
Good
go.
for you.
M-I-Z. Z-O-U. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
A-T-Y.
Take care.
Bye. As long as it ain't V-O-L-S. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.